We'll be doing a city development strategy for Beijing. Some background on Beijing. The population of Beijing, according to the 2010 census, was 19,612,368. Beijing is the second largest city in China and the 11th largest city in the world. Beijing has a robust economy. Its nominal GDP in 2011 was 247.7 billion, which equates to a per capita GDP of 12,447. What are Beijing's strengths and weaknesses? Some strengths include a robust economy, a large workforce, well-preserved physical historic character, and good health outcomes, including low infant mortality and high life expectancy. Some weaknesses are its reliance on cars as transportation, high pollution levels, aging population, and increased development pressures due to high density. The strategic goals we'll be focusing on in this city development strategy are dealing with the repercussions of a rapidly aging population, counteracting high pollution levels, and increasing public transportation infrastructure, or decreasing reliance on cars. First, we'll focus on the rapidly aging population. In 1979, China introduced its one-child policy, banning members of the ethnic Han majority from having more than one child without a permit. This policy was adopted due to fears of a population explosion, which has huge ramifications. With increasing life expectancy and plummeting birth rates, the Chinese population is set to see a tremendous demographic shift. Some call this tide of seniors the Gray Wall. Below we have two age projections. On the left is a population pyramid from 2019, and on the right is a projected population pyramid for 2050. As you can see, the amount of seniors in Beijing will increase dramatically by 2050, meaning that there will be an extra requirement for supportive infrastructure for the aging population. The good health outcomes that Beijing possesses, like lower infant mortality rate and higher life expectancy, will lead to to a densification of the population and a longer living population, which will also reinforce the negative effects of having such a large percentage of your population being in the elderly bracket. Some solutions is that Beijing must begin work to increase infrastructure aimed at providing care for an aging population. This includes incentivizing and training entrants into geriatric care and hospice services, as well as building more retirement homes. This will also require more relaxed regulations on migrant workers to fill the level of need in the workforce. Regarding pollution, Beijing has the highest concentration of particulate matter, PM 2.5, at 93 micrograms per cubic meter in 2014, far exceeding the national PM 2.5 standard of 35 micrograms per cubic meter and the World Health Organization's 10 micrograms per cubic meter. More recent data from 2017 shows that this rate has actually spiked even higher, and now Beijing's PM 2.5 level is almost 10 times the optimal PM level. Why does Beijing have so much smog? Coal is China's primary source of energy, accounting for 66% of all energy consumed, according to the World Bank. China consumed approximately 4 billion tons of coal in 2014, more than the rest of the world combined. The Beijing region alone consumed 1.8 billion tons of coal and accounted for 40% of China's coal consumption. So how can China combat its pollution problem? While China has made a lot of strides in recent years regarding pollution and energy consumption, a lot more must be done to offset the amount of pollution. First and foremost, Beijing must make headway into renewable or green energy sources like solar or wind. This can be achieved through incentivizing companies with subsidies for green energy, taxes on companies or industries that continue to overly contribute to pollution levels. China also has the largest solar PV capacity in the world, which should be embraced and at the forefront of development at a national scale. Final issue we'll discuss is transportation. Beijing has long struggled with traffic problems. For instance, in 2010, a traffic jam on Highway 10 lasted for 10 days and stretched 100 kilometers. Beijing was largely unprepared for the amount of cars on the road in the modern day, and their infrastructure is lacking because of it due to the city's age. According to TomTom, the traffic index, Beijing ranks 30th in the world and 5th in China for worst traffic and congestion. So what are some solutions? With traffic being as pervasive as it is in Beijing, the government must invest in a truly robust public transportation system. Rail must be expanded further outside of the cities to accommodate the working class who have largely been removed from the city itself. Bus routes must increase to better serve the inner city community, and gas taxes to disincentivize driving. This would help with pollution as well as provide infrastructure for the elderly to safely commute and remove them from the roads, further reducing pollution. These three issues are surprisingly intertwined, and solutions to one may provide solutions to another. Beijing is a world-class city in economic function and density, but infrastructure must be expanded to better serve this longer living and larger population. Thoughtful growth is integral to Beijing's success as a city in the future.